This is a quick video to show you how to import contacts in FunnelFLARE using CSV. So you can basically browse to contacts, import contacts, or go to your all contacts screen and click the import contacts button. And when you click this, you're going to be presented with a lot of options. One of them is file. I'm just going to go in here, click select file. I have a file right here. I'm going to select it, open it, and then it's going to preload it when I click this button. So basically what I mean by preload, it's just going to pull in a bunch of contacts so I can do some field mapping. So this is the mapping screen. Something that's important during your field mapping is, one, as you see here, that we've got to have a lookup column. So the lookup column is a unique identifier that can be used to uniquely identify a contact so that you do not get duplicates. Typically, you'll use the email address, but if you've set up custom fields that are lookup keys, you can do the same thing. So what you're seeing here at the top first row is the column headers of the file I just preloaded. And I want to exclude the first row because the first row has all these titles here. So of course I want the name, and when I do a select here, what this is going to do is pick the column in FunnelFLARE that I'm going to be mapping that field to. So full name is going to be mapped to full name, and of course if this here little checkbox, update values, why I want to check this and what it does is basically if I check this, if the field is empty, like if it identifies, for example, AJ with an email address and the name doesn't exist inside FunnelFLARE, checking this checkbox will first create it, but second, if it's there and I'm changing the name, it will update it. That goes for all of the columns. Now I just browse along here. I'm looking for my email address. So if you look here, email address, I'm going to map this to email address, and look at that. It is going to be set as the lookup field. Something else that's important is contact ownership. So in FunnelFLARE, all contacts have to have a contact owner, because if you're sending any emails to any of these folks, it's going to use the contact manager or contact owner as the email account to send the emails from. So here we have a field already called account manager, and I'm going to use contact manager right there, and it's an email address. I'm going to map that and update it. And then again, there's lots of different fields here. And one of the things you'll typically find is when you're first importing contacts into FunnelFLARE, you may have more fields in your columns than actually exist in FunnelFLARE, because you might have a specific type of specific type of data that you want in FunnelFLARE that does not exist in the metadata model. So basically what you'd want to do is go to Administration, Account Settings, and if you scroll down to the bottom of the account settings, you will see custom field types. So in here, you can add custom fields that you can map during your import. So if you find one of the fields that you don't have in, that there isn't a corresponding field in FunnelFLARE, just come in here, create the field. So there's lots of different field types, and really there's one on the contact and one on the organization or employer of the contact. So there's field types for both. And if you're going to use a single option pick list, you can basically put a seed value. Like for example, if I was going to use deal stage, maybe it's new deal. And if I don't know what these deal stages are going to be until I import them, I can just check this checkbox which says has dynamic options. Then when I import, it'll fill in the rest of the values here. So basically, I do the mapping. Very important is I find the lookup field, which in this case is the email address, and second of all, the contact owner. If I don't set a contact owner, it's going to use me automatically as the contact owner for all of these contacts that I've imported. And I just start the import, and it'll start the process of pulling these line items off of the file I've just imported using the mappings. So it's fairly simple, and this same process goes for whether you're importing from a CRM or if you're importing from a CSV file. Quite often, we do support, FunnelFLARE does support the import of Excel files, but I would, just to keep it simple, I would save the Excel file as a single tab. In other words, there's only one worksheet, CSV file, and then do the import here.